Which do you think would be more dangerous, being a conductor or station master in the Underground Railroad? Well, I don't think that either one is more dangerous, for they both take their own risks and are both very important. Hi, my name is Hannah Nan, and I will be doing my presentation on the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad was one of the largest North American freedom movements and a highly secret one that transported the majority of escaped slaves from the southern states to the northern states of Canada. How did the Underground Railroad get its name? Well, the Underground Railroad is neither underground nor a railroad. Underground refers to the secret nature of the system, and the stops the slaves would use for freedom are referred to as railroad stations because they resemble stops the train would make between destinations. Routes were often purposely indirected to confuse pursuit. Conductors and station masters. Conductors move the runways from one station to another, while the station masters feed them, aid them, and hide them. This is a picture of a wagon that conductors might have moved the runways with. The slaves would have hid inside, underneath there, and then they would have filled it with grain and stuff. Most stations were out of the way in places like farms. Dangers in being a conductor are if you're caught trying to help a slave escape, you'd usually be fined or imprisoned. But if a slave was caught trying to escape, they would usually be sold back into slavery, severely beaten, or sometimes even killed. This is a picture of where the station masters might have hit the slaves. The slaves would have went in here and then they would have covered it up with the bed. And this is a picture of a slave family that has escaped in the Underground Railroad. Communication. While slaves were resting at one station, a message would be sent to the next station so that the station master knew the runaways were on their way. There is also some evidence that quilts were used to communicate with fugitives. The quilts hanging outside slave quarters could have signified if the particular spot was safe. Now the stitching patterns could have signified the distance between the next safe station. Some famous people who worked in the Underground Railroad are Harriet Tubman, Levi Coffin and his wife Catherine, and John Rankin. Harriet Tubman. This is a picture of Harriet Tubman. He's probably one of the most famous conductors in the Underground Railroad. For after she escaped slavery in 1849, into which she was born, she made more than 13 missions to the South to rescue more than 70 slaves. Harriet Tubman made her first trip back shortly after Congress passed the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. This law made it a crime to have runaway slaves. This is also one of the reasons while conductors and station masters were fined for holding runways. Her black friends also called her Moses, after the biblical figure who led the Israelites out of Egypt. Another famous person is Levi Coffin and his wife Catherine. This is a picture of Levi Coffin. Levi Coffin was a Quaker abolitionist, one who fights against slavery, who was deeply involved in the Underground Railroad in Indiana and Ohio. He and his wife, Catherine, this is Catherine Coffin, helped more than 2,000 slaves escape to freedom. Their house is often referred to as the Grand Central Station in the Underground Railroad. This is a picture of the Grand Central Station. Though it remains unclear when the Underground Railroad got started, but Quakers were actively assisting runaway slaves as early as the 1780s. People in Ohio began to hold runaways by the 1810s, but it was most popular by the 1850s and 1860s. It was known as the Golden Path. This is a picture of John Rankin's house. This is the staircase they went to. Review. Now I've just told you what the Underground Railroad is, some people who were involved in the Underground Railroad, some ways they communicate, and some places and dates and mentions of peace. Resources. My resources were www.undergroundrailroad.com. This concludes my presentation. Were there any questions? Yes? How did you The question was, how did I get interested in this topic? I actually love history. It's one of my favorite subjects. And I was actually reading a book about someone around the Underground Railroad time.